In just a few hours, high-wire artist NIK WALLENDA will attempt to do what no one has ever accomplished: cross Niagara Falls on a high wire. It's an incredible feat, but it's one for which WALLENDA seems to have been destined because the WALLENDA family is wired for risk, you might say. Bill Weir is on the U.S. side of the falls, where the historic quest will begin.
Terry, greetings from one of America's great natural wonders. That is Niagara's Horseshoe Falls, and this is the wire. 2 inches in diameter, 1/3 of a mile long, and this is the route NIK WALLENDA hopes to take into history a few hours from now, chasing a few family ghosts along the way. This is the view from the wire. A perch where the average person's throat tightens, pulse quickens, and vision narrows. But not this person. In fact, this is where NIK WALLENDA comes to relax.
You know, I've gotten on a wire before when I've had troubles. I've had, problems going on, legal, whatever. And I get on that wire and it's gone. It's everything. All the troubles of the world are gone.
But before he can enter that Zen state tomorrow night, NIK is swinging from intense last-minute focus.
I don't know how I'm going to walk that without a balancing pole. It's moving everywhere.
To self-pinching euphoria.
I feel like a little kid on Christmas morning. I'm extremely excited.
Because this wire in this spot has cost him years of planning and a personal fortune. He had to convince the U.S. and Canada to change 100-year-old laws against this kind of stunt and hire an army of engineers to string the cables, all to try an idea that first popped into his 6-year-old brain the moment he saw these falls. You and your folks were performing nearby, and you
That's
saw
right, they
this
were
for the
performing
first time?
in Buffalo, New York, and we came to see the falls. And me and my sister looked across, and my thought was, how awesome would it be to walk a cable across Niagara Falls? Ironic, but 7 generations in 200 years, wire walking's in my blood. So at 6, that's how I thought.
Good, Nick. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Good.
He is the 7th generation of a family that's been tempting death to thrill crowds for over 2 centuries.
We need 8 men up there.
It all began with Nick's great-grandfather, Carl WALLENDA, architect of the 7-person chair pyramid, performed 35 feet up, no net. In 1962, after one misstep, the pyramid collapsed. 2 family members died, and 1 was paralyzed. But the next day, with broken bones and a broken heart, Carl snuck out of the hospital so he could make that night's performance.
You're not going to quit until they nail you down.
That's right.
The WALLENDA patriarch stayed on the wire until he was 73, until this fateful moment, trying to cross between 2 hotels in Puerto Rico, when he lost his balance and then his life. I still remember my dad's living room. I remember the couch I was sitting on at age 11 when I saw your great-grandfather fall in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
And it seared into my young brain.
Yes.
Wow. And then to understand that your family kept going.
That's right.
Regardless of how many WALLENDAs have died. Explain that to me.
You know, we've always said through triumph and tragedy, one name will always continue, and that's WALLENDA.
But this is not like a family member dying in a car accident and you keep driving. This is a choice you're making.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But what people don't realize is this is a calculated risk, what I do. I've trained for winds of 55 miles an hour. There's not winds of 55 miles an hour over the falls. The entire process from the get-go was overcoming challenges. My great-grandfather, Carl WALLENDA, always taught us to never give up. And this is the purest form of never giving up.
He carries a supreme confidence that comes from walking the wire since he could actually walk.
Good, Nick.
He was performing professionally around the world at 13, even proposed to his wife, an 8th-generation acrobat, in the middle of a high-wire stroll.
You're doing good. Good boy, look straight ahead.
Now they are teaching their kids the family business with the encouragement of Grandma Jenny.
Take a bow. Take a bow. That's it. That's what we always had to do.
She lost her husband in that Detroit fall in '62, and later, riding atop of this pyramid, tasted the pain that comes with one misstep.
Just hold on to his shoulder. No. The wire started jiggling.
At age 84, she'll still go for the occasional family stroll, WALLENDA style. Of course, the backyard is one thing. Opening old emotional wounds is another.
Feel all right?
I'm good. Good.
Last year for Danger by Design on the Science Channel, Nick and his mother went back to Puerto Rico, back to the place where Carl fell to his death, and he completed the journey his great-grandpa never did. But as proud as he is of his name, Nick tells me that tomorrow night is part of a deliberate attempt to break free of the legacy of Wallenda tragedy, an effort to go big, get famous, and stay perfect.
You've never fallen? I've never fallen. I've broken 2 bones in my entire life, and that was playing football and playing tennis. So I don't foresee myself slipping or falling. That's where the training comes in.
Sure.
Of course, accidents are called accidents for a reason, but I trained for that. I've trained since I was a little boy to grab the wire no matter what.
Now, ABC has requested that Nick wear a safety harness. He reluctantly agreed, but since he's never worn one before, no telling how it'll affect his performance. So many variables. There's the wind, there's the mist, there's even nesting peregrine falcons in the area known to swoop and attack. You can see the entire knuckle whitening spectacular starting at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, right here on ABC. Join us if you can. Terry?
Man, that looks intense.